Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. In this video, we are looking actually at the NBA preseason slate tonight. We have a 6-game slate starting at 7. So no football action today. And I got just a single game of baseball, which did go well last night thanks to Verdugo. But I wanted to make a video for NBA preseason. Decided that after just watching the first couple of days of it, it's still a chance to make some money with teams still playing their starters a decent amount, and then we can get some young guys in here to kind of round out a lineup. So let's get into it. I'll give you guys my core plays. If you're new here, I provide core plays on Draftkings Fanduel, and then I post more things on my website if you want to join for that. It's dfsprocess.net. You can follow me on Twitter at the DFS Process if you enjoy the videos. Just hit the like button and subscribe. I really appreciate that. But without further ado, let's get into it. So looking at the point guard position here, DraftKings, at least you can kind of make a lineup with using salary. FanDuel, everybody seems to be 6,000 or 5,000, so you can play whoever you want over on FanDuel. But DraftKings, a little bit more strategy involved. So you have Steph Curry. He's $9,300 going up against the Nuggets here. This is their second preseason game. Played about 30 or only 20 minutes in the first one. I had about like 13, 5, and 5 was fine, but I think I'll probably go to a different stud than paying all the way up for Curry. You know exactly what you're getting out of Curry. They don't need to play him 30 minutes in the preseason. They don't need to push him very much, and they're still not going to have Klay Thompson, so I don't think they have any reason to play Curry a ton without Thompson, unless they wanted to get like if Thompson was healthy, they might wanted to get a feel with those two. They haven't played together in so long, but until he's back, I don't see Curry pushing for a ton of minutes in the preseason. You have Luka Doncic right there at $9,200. We know exactly what Luka brings to the table as well. Him and Curry, even though Luka is way younger, you know that he's gonna get you the rebounds, the assists, the points. Not the best defensive player to get the defensive stats, but this is their first preseason game of the season. Luka will probably play a similar amount to like Curry and some of the other stars, like in the low 20s. If on DraftKings you can make it work if you wanted to get to him at 92, considering that you're not going to have Trae Young to play with. He's doubtful, so even with these guys all the same price tag, I think Luka looks the best compared to Steph Curry, and then with Trae Young not able to play. Fox is healthy, but he's also a guy that the Kings are going to rely on to carry them all season. So another guy that I think will play in the low 20s in minutes. Not going to push it too much. Halliburton is 81, Fox is 83. Now with those two being so closely priced, I would probably still lean with Fox. I don't really see myself going with the 76 Mike Conley. He's a guy, a veteran, older player. He's not going to play much in the preseason, so I don't see any reason to have him in there. I don't like the price tag on Clarkson all the way up to 75. I think going with like Jalen Suggs makes some sense. He got the start for the Magic. Rookie. Teams like this, teams like the Magic that are rebuilding are going to want to get their young players as much time in the preseason because they know that in the regular season they're going to have to play a lot of minutes. Suggs got the start, struggled a little bit with the shot, 3 of 11, but he did chip in 7 peripheral stats. He had 2 blocks, played 21 minutes in the first game. That action can definitely go up here in the second one. It's a good spot against the Pelicans. That is one of the better games to kind of get both sides of because both teams, with the Pelicans not having Zion and with them not having Lonzo anymore, they're probably going to have to get their young players a lot more time. So I could see both getting to both younger players on both sides of that game. As the Spurs, I don't know how many people will be thrilled with playing a lot of Spurs in the preseason because Popovich is kind of known to mess with a lot of players and DFS players. I've always been frustrated with Pop because his rotations are all out of whack sometimes. But you could look to Murray at only $6,200. In the 5K range here, you have Derek White potentially. Kyra Lewis Jr. is going to play a lot of minutes for the Pelicans. He's 56. Killian Hayes, they already are going to be without Frank Jackson and no Cade Cunningham. So you're going to see if Hayes is healthy, he might play a good amount tonight. But he's also a little banged up, so there's reason that he's might not play at all, and they might not want to push him for a ton of minutes. Then all the way at the bottom, I don't see myself going with Bledsoe, the veteran. He's not going to play a ton, and I don't think he will. He's okay, but they're going to need him in the regular season until Kawhi's back, so I really don't think he's going to play a lot in the preseason. Then all the way at the bottom, you're maybe looking at like Saben Lee or some of these guys that might benefit Saben Lee if they are without Frank Jackson. Not Frank Jackson. If they're without Killian Hayes again, Jackson's already not going to play tonight. And that's it. You don't really have anybody at the 4K range exactly that I'm that thrilled with. So on this one, thinking of looking at some of these Magic and Pelicans guys here to plug into here. Suggs is 65. He got the start, played about 20 minutes or so. You had $5,800 Cole Anthony come off the bench, but he played a lot better than Suggs. And Anthony, more experience by only a year, but he's still going to be a big part of their offense. Since the injury to Markelle Fultz, he just played a ton of minutes, and he was super aggressive with the shot. He gets you some assists, some rebounds. A pretty solid point guard option to roster, and I think his shot will improve this year. And he's aggressive at getting to the basket. He played very well in the first game, and he just played 22 minutes without the same amount of Suggs. And six man gets a little bit more usage off the bench. He's definitely going to close most of these games here. So Anthony at 58, I like a little bit of savings you get from Jalen Suggs. At the shooting guard position here, we're looking at Mitchell is 87. He struggled in that first game. They kind of got blown out. The Jazz aren't going to play Mitchell a ton in the preseason unless they want to get their entire roster and their entire starting lineup some minutes together. But I think Gobert might not suit up tonight. We'll take a look at that. He missed Monday. He probably might play today, so we'll see. But 87 for Mitchell. I think I like some other studs to pay out for today. I don't really see myself going 77 Sexton or 75 for Buddy Hield. Going to the bottom here a little bit in the 6K range, you have Nickeil Alexander-Walker at $6,200. He is going to play heavy minutes for them, going to jump into the starting lineup for Lonzo Ball for the season, and a guy that is very good for fantasy because he's super aggressive with the shot. You'll see him take double-digit shots, maybe 20-plus shots in the regular season when he gets those 35 to 40 minutes or so. I really like Alexander-Walker tonight. You also have Jordan Poole, who dropped 30 in the first preseason game. No Klay Thompson tonight, so he's going to get the start once again. He's going to play pretty decent minutes, like low 20s, a young player, so I feel pretty good that he's going to probably play more minutes than some of the veterans on the team. So really like Jordan Poole. I really like Alexander Walker at the shooting guard position. They're both just shooting guard eligible, but you can play one of them in the guard spot if you wanted to. Don't really like Avery Bradley at all at that price tag. The Pistons dealing with some injuries, so you can see Diallo might get some more run tonight, depending on the injuries. They already are missing some of their guards, but they could be even more shorthanded if there's no Killian Hayes. So keep an eye on Diallo. He could draw the start at shooting guard today. Going further down, you have a Josh Hart at 54. He looks fine at that price tag. Going down even further, maybe you can look to like some of these Spurs that are going to benefit the younger Spurs without DeMar DeRozan, like Devin Vassell. $5,200. You have Lonnie Walker. They do have a lot of options, so it's not like you feel confident that one of those two will get a ton of run. But all the way at the bottom, you do have their first-round pick, 18-year-old Joshua Primo, who looked solid in that first game, dropping 17 points. He got decent minutes off the bench, but those minutes are going to go up as the Spurs, no DeRozan. Obviously, Aldridge retired, and he might be coming back. But Spurs, they are definitely in the rebuilding stage. They're going to want to get the young players involved and get them a lot of minutes in the preseason. So Primo at $4,000, I probably like him a little bit better than like $5,200 Devin Vassell or $49 for Lonnie Walker. But right now I'm going to go ahead and plug in Nickeil Alexander-Walker to run it back with Cole Anthony. Small forward Paul George sat out the first preseason game. I don't know why they would play Paul George a ton of minutes in the preseason because they already know they're going to be without Kawhi Leonard for a few months to start the season. And if something happens with Paul George during the preseason, their chances are pretty much done in the West. Michael Porter Jr., he is questionable, or he's probable. He played well in the first game, but that was without Nikola Jokic, who's back for this one. So his production is going to come down a little bit. You have Brandon Ingram without Zion Williamson and without Lonzo Ball for this preseason game. Well, Lonzo Ball is now a Bull and Zion is hurt. But I would expect Brandon Ingram, nice price tag on him at $6,800. I love this game to kind of get both sides of, so I will go ahead and plug him in there. At the small forward position, he's not even overly expensive, and you know the kind of production that he brings. Especially with them not having Zion out there, who gets a lot of usage. So Brandon Ingram should have the ball in his hands a ton and facilitate the offense a little bit, him and Walker. I'm not that interested in like Jeremy Grant at $73. It's a pretty high price tag. Sadiq Bey looks appealing at $6,400. Cam Reddish looks fine at $6,000 without Trae Young. There's some of these other younger guys who are going to get some more run. But the Hawks do have a bunch of guys on their bench that can play a lot. And then you have $5,500 for Josh Jackson, who can also draw the start today if they're without Killian Hayes. he has some upside for DFS. And those are the main guys to pick from at the bottom. If you're looking at in the 4,000 range, nothing looks that crazy. You know, Keldon Johnson at 52 looks fine because he's going to be one of the better options to score the basketball, and he's going to get some opportunities this year. But that's pretty much the main guys to look at. At power forward, one guy that I really like here, I'm not going to pay 84 for Rashawn Holmes. That price tag is ridiculous. Porzingis, don't want to play him. He always is injured. I don't know why they would play him a lot in the preseason. Stewart was great for DFS players, but he's now 76 on the preseason slate, and they brought in Kelly Olynyk to play some center minutes, so if we're getting Stewart at power forward, that might hurt some of his rebounding opportunities. But all the way at the bottom here at $4,900, you have Marvin Bagley. Now, he's a guy has a ton of potential, but he's always been injured. You know, everybody knows that the Kings passed up on 2 superstars to get him in that draft, so they are probably kicking themselves. But he's going to get opportunity this year, starting every season. Hopefully he's healthy. He's healthy going into the year, so that makes you feel pretty good about it. And at 49 against the Clippers, who are also injured with a lot of their, not going to have to deal with Kawhi out there. He's probably should get you at least low 20s in minutes, up to like 25 or 25 minutes. 49 for Bagley, a good usage player. Gets you rebounds, chance for a double-double. Love that price tag on Bagley. Over at the center position, you have Nikola Jokic at 94. And then you have a bunch of some of these other guys that are out, like Gobert. He'll probably play, but who knows how much he'll play. Capella's already out. Valanciunas is probable, but he also has a Q tag, so you will not get too much ownership. And then Olynyk is 66. He was very good for the Rockets during the brief time last year at the end of the season. And then you have split between Carter and Bamba, so those might be a little bit tough to get to. Carter will draw the start. And then all the way at the bottom, some of these injuries, without James Wiseman, you'll see, maybe Draymond play some center, or maybe they play Kevon Looney at center. But I feel pretty confident going up to Jokic here. Mike Malone did play his starters a good amount in the first game. That was without Jokic. And Jokic just joined the team, so he might need to get some of his conditioning up. So I could see him play over 20 minutes and 20 minutes out of Jokic at 94 with not the best center position. We do have a lot of other guys, like at point guard, shooting guard, that will get a lot of run. Center, if Jokic goes out there in 20 minutes and drops 15, 8, and 7 with a couple of steals and blocks, he's going to be most likely in the optimal lineup. And then I'm going to finish it off here with Jordan Poole. If you wanted to get a piece from the Warriors, Poole looks to be a very safe bet. He's going to chuck the ball. He can light it up when he gets hot, as we saw in that first game. He's going to shoot probably 15 plus times. And he might have the ball in his hands a little bit to get some assists. And, he did have 5 rebounds as well and 3 stocks. So he's a guy that they can get a lot of run this year as their 6th man once they're all fully healthy. But I love these 6 right now. Makes your lineup look pretty stacked, and he still leads you with 55 left. So that is the core plays for the preseason slate for DraftKings for tonight. Let's jump over to Fanduel. All right, so Fanduel, it's not too much to analyze because everybody's basically the same price tag. So on Fanduel, you get to Luka, you'll get to Jokic, you'll get to Brennan Ingram, you get to Alexander Walker. I like Cole Anthony at that price tag if you wanted to get to Jordan Poole. Wanted to get to Jordan Poole. He's only $5,000. Play him at 2 spots, so I'll even give you guys another one there. But FanDuel, it's going to be a lot of guys with the same lineup, a lot of people with the same lineup because it's just obvious that you want to get to at least a couple of superstars, and you want to get to some of these young players with the opportunity to get you a lot of minutes and production. So that's it. FanDuel, we'll get some more reasons to analyze FanDuel during the regular season when they have these guys priced at different amounts and you can't just jam in everybody that looks appealing. But on DraftKings, at least, I did like the way we kind of made the 6 work. So that's about it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hit the like button if you did. Best of luck tonight, and see you all next time, and check out the NFL videos if you're going to be playing that as well.